We made the trip to McCloud Falls and visited all 3 tiers of the waterfall. McCloud Falls are a total of 3 waterfalls, Upper Falls, Middle Falls, and Lower Falls, that are in walking distance from each other. To get to the waterfalls from I-5, you will follow Highway 89 east for 10 miles from the I-5-89 junction. You will pass by the town of McCloud and continue east for 5 more miles. Then you will see a sign on the left that says Fowlers Campground/McCloud Falls. Make sure you be on the lookout for the sign because it's a bit hard to spot. We actually almost missed it and had to back up and make the turn. Once you see the sign, you will turn right onto Road 40N44, which is right across the highway from the sign. We're super excited today because we're going to be checking out McCloud Falls, and it's actually 3 waterfalls in one. It's a lower, upper, and middle waterfall. So let's go check it out. Once you are on this road, you will clearly see signs that direct you towards each of the falls. We decided we wanted to go to the Upper Falls first, so we turned left and followed the signs until we saw the sign to the Upper Falls. After just a short drive, we turned right at the Upper McCloud Falls sign, and it ended at a small parking and picnic area. So we just got to the picnic area and trailhead for the Upper Falls, so we're getting ready to go walk down the trail to check out the Upper Falls. This was the least busy of the 3 waterfalls. Right next to the parking area, there was a picnic area right next to the McCloud River. There were also some bathrooms and the trailhead. Much of the McCloud flow that makes up the McCloud River comes from a spring-fed glaciers and snowmelt on Mount Shasta. So this is the Upper McCloud Falls picnic area, and you can walk down here to the water, and it's really cool. Actually, there's this cool volcanic rock and these really neat water plants. It'd be fun to come hang out for the day and have a picnic. See the plants, so pretty. McCloud River is a 77-mile long river that eventually flows down into Shasta Lake. The pathway to the overlook area to Upper McCloud Falls was quick and easy. In just a short distance, we arrived at the waterfall. There was a railing that runs along the lookout area to the falls. So we just made it to the Upper Falls, and you can't actually get all the way down to the falls, but there's a little railing where you can look over, and it's really pretty. We viewed the falls from different spots of the lookouts. So it's kind of cool up here at the Upper Falls because there's a bunch of little paths, and there's a whole bunch of different lookout areas where you can see the falls. It's really neat because you're way above the falls and looking down on it, and it's super pretty. Upper McCloud Falls was unique because the falls flow through the rock formations where the rocks have been carved out. It was really nice, and surrounding the overlook area were pine trees, some wildflowers, and we even saw some lizards. You can also see the trail that runs along the McCloud River right next to the overlook if you decide that you want to hike down this trail. So you can either hike to go to the upper, middle, and lower, or you can drive by car. And we're going to go visit another waterfall after we visit these 3, so we're just going to be driving by car today, but it would be a fun hike along the river. Now we're gonna go back to our car and head to Middle McCloud Falls. When we were done viewing the falls, we went back to the main road and turned left. From here, Middle Falls is just a short drive. You will clearly see the sign to the parking area for Middle Falls as well. This waterfall had more people than Upper Falls, but we had no problem finding parking. There was also a bathroom right next to the parking area. We started on the trail for the Middle McCloud Falls overlook. Okay, so we just got here to Middle McCloud Falls, to the trailhead, and it's really pretty because you can actually see Mount Shasta in the distance. And now we're gonna walk down to see the falls. And in just a few minutes, we arrived at one of the viewpoints. Middle McCloud Falls is the biggest of all 3, and it was so pretty. Similar to the Upper Falls viewing area, there are different places with railing along the cliffside where you can enjoy the view of the falls down below. Just got done checking out Middle McCloud Falls, and it's really pretty. And you can actually hike down. There's a trail somewhere along here because we saw a bunch of people down there on the rocks swimming, so it'd be kind of fun to see it from the base of the falls. But we're gonna walk back to our car and go drive down to Lower McCloud Falls. When leaving the Middle McCloud Falls parking area, we turned left and continued until we saw signs for the Lower Falls. The entrance to the Lower Falls was clearly marked as well. The drive to the Lower Falls was a bit longer. Once we reached the parking area, it was super busy. We had a hard time finding parking. There was also bathrooms and a very large picnic area at the Lower Falls. There were a ton of picnic benches and shade in the pine trees. It would be a great place for lunch. So we just got here to Lower McCloud Falls and it's like 11 o'clock and we could barely find anywhere to park. So you probably want to get here early if you want to find parking. And we're getting ready. We're walking down the trail to go see the falls. It's just a short walk from the Lower Falls picnic area to the viewing area of the Lower Falls. The Lower Falls were packed with people. This was the most popular of all three falls. So we just got here to the Lower McCloud Falls and there's a cool little outlook where you can see the falls and there's a ton of people down there swimming and people jumping off the rocks. It looks really fun. And there's also a little area where there's some steps that go down where you can get even closer to the falls. So we're gonna go walk down those steps and check it out. There were people fishing, swimming, and diving off the rocks. While we were there, even one person caught a fish. The viewing area of Lower McCloud Falls is the closest to the waterfall out of all three. On the upper and middle falls, you are looking down on the falls, but on the lower falls, you are right across from the falls. So it's really nice, especially if you walk down to the Lower McCloud Falls. And this is the start of the trail. Oh, look, a chipmunk. How cute. Look at that. It's a little baby. Hey. Anyways, make sure you walk down to the bottom of the stairs to Lower McCloud Falls because it's so pretty from the bottom. And there's people lined up all along the river going swimming and just hanging out fishing. Some person even caught a fish. And this here is the trail if you're gonna hike all the way to Middle and Upper McCloud Falls. Visiting all three tiers of the McCloud Falls was fun. We will be going back to hike the entire trail and camp near the falls hopefully soon. Just got done checking out Lower McCloud Falls and I guess there's a campground if you drive out a little ways. So we're gonna head on over and check out the campground because we might want to come back here and go camping. If you are looking for a great place to camp near McCloud Falls, then you might be interested in Fowlers Campground. It was right next to the Lower McCloud Falls trail. It was a really neat, clean campground with sites nestled in the trees. The trail that leads to all of the falls actually winds alongside the campground. We went over and drove through the campground just to check it out for if we end up coming back again, and we even spotted a few deer. So we've been driving around the campground and it's actually a really cute campground with a lot of really cute, clean, shaded spots. And we will definitely be coming back here. And the trail that I was telling you guys about that you can walk to all three tiers of the fall actually goes right through the campground. And so you can go to any of the falls right here from the campground. And there's a little trail for a wildlife viewing area and there's nice bathrooms. We're definitely gonna have to plan a trip to come camp here soon. Also, when we were driving through the campground, it was pretty busy. Many of the sites were reserved. So if you are gonna camp here, then you might wanna call in advance to make reservations. So much fun exploring Upper, Middle, and Lower McCloud Falls, and we'll definitely be coming back to camp at that campground and just to come check out the waterfalls again, maybe even walk the trail. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that it helps you plan your trip to see McCloud Falls, and please subscribe to see more fun destinations and places to explore.